Everybody's having a beautiful day. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about today. Just so we can be clear, I want to talk about Sauce Walker and Charleston White. I think that that whole situation was going on over there is absolutely bananas. So I want to talk about Sauce Walker and Charleston White. That's what I want to be clear on. Also, I gotta wait until somebody comes in here. Looks like I'm having a little bit of problem on this end with my video. I'm not sure, so I'm gonna wait until some people come in here real quick, and then we're gonna see if there's a problem with my video. I think I'm having a little bit of issues. With that being said, hey, if is my video clear? Is my audio clear and on time? Put it in the chat if it is. While we're giving people an opportunity to get in here. So yesterday I played basketball. This is my monologue. So yesterday I played basketball. Shout out to everybody that was at the court and hooping. And a couple of things happened, and I want to say this. So first, I played a 3-man. Long one. We extended it a couple of times. I had Anthony on my team and another dude. I can never remember what his name is, but he's super cool. And I always think his name is Patrick. He looks like a Patrick. His name might not be Patrick. I have no idea what this guy's name is, but I always forget. But he looks like he might be a Patrick. In any regard, game was incredible. I really enjoyed myself, had a great time. So I want to say two things about basketball real quick, about yesterday and about something else that is just absolutely incredible. So before the game, earlier in the day, I was playing one of the kids, a couple of the kids got back from vacations with their family. And we're gonna do roll call at the 5-minute mark. A couple of the kids, get your comments in now. So a couple of kids got back from vacations with their family. So we had Bandit back. So he was at the park and he said something to me. So he hit a move on a kid, and it's 100% a move that they see me do. His interpretation of it. So he hit a move on a kid and then he yelled out, "Yo, I got that move from you." And so before I tell you the main basketball story, I want to say this. So depending on what kids is at the park is depending on how I play. So when I have certain kids at the park that I know I want to encourage them to use their offhand, I use my offhand a lot. When I have kids at the park that I want to encourage to play defense, I play harder defense. When I have kids at the pool, so whatever the thing is that I think the kid that is watching me needs is the thing that I do more of, because I know that kids learn through observation. That's one. Two, that's why some days I'll go to the park and there's moves I will do a lot of and other moves I just won't do. Because the kids that like those moves or gravitate to those moves might not be at the park that day. So I want to do the moves that I know the other kid want to learn, like the step, the lean back Dirk shot that I do. I know they trying to get that down when, some of the kids that was there yesterday. And there's a couple of other moves in any regard. So we're playing the 3-man. And when I tell you, I think I hit like 10 threes almost. I mean, pardon me. I hit up to about 10 points in threes. Threes is by twos, by the way. Right? So I hit about 10 points in threes. So I hit about 5 or 6 threes. No, I had about 5 or 6 other shots. We went up to 26 points. And I'm going to say this, and this is just one of the most incredible things. I appreciate those guys for running with me. I am not a shoot first guy anymore. I probably need to be, but I'm not a shoot first guy anymore. And I appreciate those guys for running with me, because it feels good to be able to, if I get hot, the ball's going to keep coming to me. It kind of sucks. Like if I make a shot, then, niggas is like, oh, he made a basket. We don't have to pass him the ball no more. So it felt good that, because I hit like 3 threes at one time in a row, like on 3 consecutive possessions. So it felt good to play with some players that want to see me do well. So if they see me doing well, they run it to me, because that's how I play. If I see you hit a shot, I'm going to try to keep getting you the ball while you're in your zone. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to get as many points out of you right now as we can. What up, Florida State Bully? Salute. Let's do roll call real quick and get to the show. Shout out to Arthur D. Glass. He says, hit that cash app. BBN, drop a blessing. I definitely appreciate anybody that, if you're appreciating the show at any point, it's always acceptable to show your appreciation. And, if you feel like it, you can always pull up to the Cash App, Super Chat, and or PayPal. Also, you can hit the like button. The like button is incredible. and it costs $0. Shout out to Florida State Bullies. It says, good morning, BBN fam. Salute. Hope everything is going well with you and yours. There's more to come. Like I said, like in the conversation that we had yesterday, there's more to come. With that being said, let's get to this Sauce Walker Charleston White thing. Depending on how the show goes, we'll go outside and walk around for a little while. Depending on how the show goes, we'll go outside and walk around. So let's talk about this Charleston White thing real quick and Sauce Walker. So before I talk about the Charleston White Sauce Walker, I want to talk about Charleston White. There's a couple of things that I want to say. Do you know how I keep telling y'all? I've said this numerous times. I said, if anybody messes with Charleston White, like no real niggas, pardon me for lack of a term, no real street dudes is gonna go mess with Charleston White. Like they're not, it just don't make sense. You understand? Like nobody's taking this dude seriously to the point where they like, we gotta go touch him. No real, only people that's gonna do that is, we've had this discussion before. Remember, I tell y'all, I'm not a big fan of Charleston Whites, but you know, only people that don't make sense to touch them. First of all, everybody watching them, why is you gonna go touch them? In any regard. So apparently what happened is Charleston White is at a boxing match. And while they're at the match, I forget who's fighting, this boxing, MMA, it's a fight. Somebody sees him and they yell out, yo, keep my man name out your mouth. Charleston White turns around and you know him, he's going to immediately go off the deep end and say, make me. And so he starts talking his shit. In any regard, at some point, those people come down and try to encounter him. Charleston White pulls out the mace. Mace is the whole clique. It's over. No more beefing. So what ends up happening is Charleston White goes on live, and then he's like, yo, look, man, that was the Sauce Walker dudes, the TSF dudes, right? The Sauce Factory. That was the Sauce Walker dudes. These guys tried to run down on me, bang, 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 this and that happened. All of the things. Now, the next video that came out, I don't know in which order the video came out, just so we could be clear. But I'll talk about both videos, but I can't tell you which one came out first. So this isn't me standing here saying this one came out first or that one came out first. I have no idea. With that being said, I'll tell you in the order that I saw them. So the TSF dude, the Sauce Factory guy, his name is Starr Lyfe, STARRLYFE. His name is Starr Lyfe. So I see a video of this guy standing around with no shirt on. So I see a video of this guy standing around with no shirt on his lawn with two other dudes who also have no shirt on. And here in front of a camera. And one of the things that he intimates to the camera, he basically tells us, is that he's sorry because the thing that happened at the fight, it was actually him and his team. It was not Sauce Walker. It was not TSF. It wasn't Sauce Walker. He has affiliations with Sauce Walker. He deals with Sauce Walker. He's a part of what they do over there, whatever the case is. But it wasn't TSF that was there. You know, it was his crew and his guys, right? He said, we got back to the crib. Basically, he had to shoot a couple of fades. They had to whoop his ass because he was out of pocket. What did I tell y'all? And I've said this previously. Dude, y'all out here keep talking about y'all gonna see somebody that y'all don't like on the internet and attack them. How could you even respect that? So the person didn't say nothing to you. Nothing to you. You have no actual beef with this individual. They don't even know who you are. But if you see them on the street, you're going to go be negatively a part of their life. Mental health problem. I'm going to say this again. So you see a person on the internet. You don't even know them. They've never done anything to you. You don't even have a reason to actually be upset at them. But you decide, if you see them on the street, oh man, they got all of the problems coming to them. That's a mental health problem. I don't care what that person's done. They didn't do anything to you. People love to say that they want people to mind their business while they do zero of that. In any regard. So this dude, who's a part of what looks to me like one of the realest organizations, because that's some super real shit. The dude went, tried to attack a vlogger, and the head of his operation said, nah, we don't operate that way. It's consequences. And go apologize. Now you tell me what you think real is. He didn't just make dude change his behavior. He didn't just sentence him to a penalty. He also made him apologize for his behavior. That's not what we stand for over here. All that is weirdo shit. Tell me where the lie at. Tell me where the lie at. I'm listening. I'm here. Put it in the chat. Tell me where the lie at. With that being said, let me get to the next part real quick so we can actually have the full entire discussion. With that being said, third video drop that I see. There might be more. I don't know. I saw 3. So if you come in and say, yo, Frost is lying, there's another. Never said that there wasn't. Just so we could be clear. If you come and try to say, yo, Frost is lying, those videos didn't come out in that order. I have no idea. What the fuck? I don't know what order they came out in. I only know the order that I saw them in. That's it. It's the only order I know. Pardon. Give me 1 second. Oh, those guys. Source Walker drops a video. So a couple of years ago, I had just found out about Source Walker. I didn't really know anything about dude. I knew zero about Source Walker. A couple of years ago, I found out about Source Walker. I hear about all of the influence that he says that he actually influenced, especially in a lot of the Atlanta artists picked up on themselves and they started using. It was like, that's how I got introduced to Source Walker. He was beefing, or there was a back and forth going on. And the way he handled the back and forth, I thought was just like some super real shit even then. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just took the loss. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't allow for people to say certain things, you know, out of pocket whenever it came to, his positions. But other than that, he just kept it to the side. He worked on what he was doing. He didn't try to mess up nobody wave, mess up. He didn't try to do nothing to get involved in nothing. I thought that was pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward to the video that I saw yesterday. Well, today or this morning. I don't know, however you want to gauge it. So in the video, Source Walker says, first of all, almost everything that I say about Charleston White. I like Charleston White. I think he's a weirdo, though, personally, me. He ain't say that part. But I like White. It don't make sense. Why would you go attack this guy? I understand what Charleston White is. I don't like what he's doing, but I understand what it is. I think that he's a character. I don't have no actual beef with him. So he said basically those were his sentiments. Then he said something else that was interesting. And this is what I've been saying. And this is what I mean by the devil will try to always convince you that a person who's giving you the right message is crazy. So whenever you are given the appropriate message and you have the ability to actually reach people, the devil needs to figure out a way to make it so that the people that need to hear your words don't hear them. The problem with that is the people that's supposed to hear your words is always going to hear them. Just we don't understand that God's words aren't for everyone. So it's fine. So with that being said, what he said was this: anybody messing with Charleston White is a peon. First of all, how you going to attack somebody because, it's one thing if a person is talking crazy about you. And that's one thing. I might not agree, but that's one thing. It's acceptable. But these people want to fight these vloggers and hurt these vloggers for shit that don't got nothing to do with them. Like they don't got their own families. Like they don't got their own things that they need to take care of. And I think that that's incredible and insane. I think that that's backwards. I think that that's ass backwards. Shout out to Sauce Walker for being a real one. Now I want to know. Well, pardon me. So now could we talk about a whole different case inside of this same logic that Sauce Walker just used? Let's talk about a whole nother situation inside of this same exact logic that Sauce Walker just used. Sauce Walker's logic was you shouldn't go down to somebody like that's level. If you want to know a better interpretation of somebody else saying that is when he said Jay Prince, when Jay Prince said that don't get in the muck with the hogs or some shit like that. Don't get in the whatever with the hogs. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what he's trying to say. Like, why are you stooping down the homeboy's level? Like, if you consider yourself so much better than that individual that you're talking shit about, why are you talking shit about them? You're better than them, right? Why are you speaking on them? Since when in the world does a king sit around all day and tell you about a peasant? Peasants talk about the king. The king don't talk about the peasants. Isn't that part of the problem? So if you're supposed to be a boss, how in the hell are you even dealing with this Charleston White guy? And if you're a part of our organization, why are you even bringing us those problems? You want to know the number one reason why you don't mess with a person like Charleston White? Because if somebody do something to them, then your name is on the fucking list. Then what? Then now what? And you was in town that weekend. Now what? I think it has a lot to do with followers mentality. We have a big problem with. So I'm at the park. Let me not give that analogy. So I remember growing up. And I can say this almost with a 100% certainty. I remember growing up. Nope, but he was gay. I remember growing up and boys, males, never just talked about other niggas. Like, we never sat around and talked about another dude. Like, we never did that. Like, I never saw adults do that. I just never saw it. Like, if we talked about something that had to do, it was sports, wrestling, a movie, some shit that happened on the block. Was never sitting around and just talking about another guy unless you had something positive to say. Men just never did that. I don't. But it's like a pastime now. I've never been in a prison. I'm assuming. I don't know. I mean, what the fuck do I know? I guess gossip definitely happens in prisons. I've seen a lot of movies. I've never been in prison. Because I can't think of anywhere where this would come from. Except for men becoming feminized. Feminized? Is that even a word? Are we making up a word? Are we doing this? Are we making up a word? Are we making up a word? Femininized. Femininized? Did we just make up a word? Nah, for real though. This has to do with men being feminized. Tell me where the lie at. You know what I mean. I have no idea if that's an actual word. Tell me where the lie at. So shout out to mofos like Sauce Walker. He's such a boss, he don't even allow that behavior in his community. His people can't conduct themselves that way. We're not sitting around and doing this, man. Like, we whole dudes over here, fam. We're men. We're dudes. We're whole men over here. We're not gonna sit around and be talking shit about that mofo all day. That don't make sense. We whole men over here, fam. We're men. We're gonna stay doing men stuff. Men don't do it. Where you from? Houston or Dallas? I have no idea. Somewhere down there. In any regard, that's about all I had for this morning show. That's one of the reasons why we started so late. That's all I had was the Sauce Walker thing with Charleston White, who I think is absolutely winning. He called Charleston White Bat and Joker combined because he has a whole bunch of gadgets and he's his shit. He said the guy's dangerous. He said, yo, he'll snitch. He'll point the finger at you. He'll pull gadgets on you. Like, he'll do everything. Those guys are the most dangerous people. And I got to agree with him. I think the problem is this. I think that we just have a issue in America where people are looking for the next thing to laugh at or the next person to laugh at. I think that that's just a problem. I think that that's an issue. Because I keep trying to express this to you. There's things that if you laugh at it, you are not. Just look in the Bible for anybody that cares about the Bible. If you don't care about the Bible, obviously this isn't for you. For the people who care about the Bible, look up, Google jokes you are not supposed to laugh at, and they're going to tell you passages in the Bible that explains to you that certain jokes you are not supposed to laugh at because you're basically sinning by doing so. So be mindful of the shit you laugh at. You might not think it's a big deal. To you, it's ha ha he he. But, if you believe in God, you should be at least trying to adhere to some of his philosophies, right? One of the main philosophies is doing to others as you will have them do unto you, right? Is there anything you guys want to discuss? Anything you guys want to talk about? Put it in the chat. Any question that revolves around not me, that you would like to ask? Put it in the chat. Also, shout out to Cavario. 50 critical quotes. You should probably get this. I've been looking at this lately. Signed copy also, so shout out to that shit. Try not to read. 2 times, try not to crease it and shit. Funny guy. He's like funny guy. Because I've always read, so there was a period of time where I used to walk around. I'm just gonna tell you a real quick story. So you know the soft paperback books that you could like bend and fold, like this kind of like that, but like the larger ones, like that thick or whatever, and it's like probably like square by like that much or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that square or whatever, boom, boom, and shit, and probably thick. You could bend the bitches and put it in your pocket. So I used to always have a book in my pocket, mainly John Grisham. So I used to, because I used to travel a lot, whatever the case is. I used to always be sitting on buses and transportation planes. I used to read. Or if I was just on the train, whatever the case is. In any regard. So, I had probably about 10 books in, 10, 15 books in. I used to buy books all the time. So I was about 10, 15 books in over this one summer. And I started realizing that I was pissed off because the books that I finished reading were in terrible condition. And I was like, now trying to re-get copies so I could have good copies. So now I be thinking about that shit. I be like, I don't want to mess up the book because I don't know how long I want to have it. You know, I might, after I finish reading it, you know, I grew up with a library in my bedroom. Well, not, one of my bedrooms had a library in it. In 4C on the wall. So it's good to have books. If not for nothing else, it's good to have books, man. Sometimes it's good to just pick up a book and start reading. Expand your mind. Your brain activates different when it's reading. You know, that's why social media is like Twitter activate us the way that they do. Our brain literally activates our imagination when we're reading. You understand? Reading does a lot. It's different from the medium of television and movies. I know I'm rambling right now, but I just want to get this one thought out. So it's different from the medium of television and movies because when you're reading, you're actually tapping into your inner thoughts. So somebody will say house and I'll see a White House. That person will see a White House. That person will see a White House. Part of read White House. That person will read a White House. White House. White House. Me White House. But all of our White Houses will be different. All of the main characters, even when described down to their skin complexion, the way their hair go, everything. We're all gonna have different interpretations of that because that's the way the brain works. So when we're reading something, we're helping to actually build our brain. You know, that's why it's important to have books. It literally helps you to build your brain. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother thing. Nobody cares about that. But it's actually a pretty interesting discussion, I think. But I don't think nobody cares about that. Anything else y'all want to talk about, put it in the chat. I think nobody cares about that. But yeah, reading. 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 What's up? Anything y'all want to talk about at all? If the only people that's gonna be in here commenting is the people that hate me, I was already I can dub the live, fam, and be honest with you. The only people I'm gonna be in here talking to is them assholes. I'm just gonna dub the live here. Be honest with you. I already talked about what I want to talk about. I don't know what you guys want to talk about. If there's anything y'all want to talk about, I'll stay and talk about it. But I already talked about what I want to talk about. I already talked about what I want to talk about. I don't gotta stay here for the bullshit, to be honest with you. So if there's anything you guys want to talk about, I'll stay and talk. But if not, then that's all I'm gonna be dealing with. I'm gonna go about my business and go do something else. I'll give y'all a minute to decide. Dum 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 Didn't they change that guy? I used to love Jeopardy. I used to love Jeopardy. Fucking love it. Jeopardy was the best. That's one thing that I'm gonna say. So I'll tell you a fond memory of my pops. So we only had one TV for a real long time. Probably when I was first grade, uh, second grade, well, for the part of second grade. Where anyway, so it was a really small. You could just have the thing in the top. You could just grab it and carry it around. Good thing it was like that, because I mean I could grab it and carry it around. So this is not a complaint. We had a big TV in the other room, but if you knew anything about black families, especially in like in the 80s and in the 70s and shit like that, the living room, you didn't go in there unless company came over. So there was no just going in the living room and playing. We wasn't doing that. So one of the things that he did do, um, and I do have to, I guess, add this to my intelligence, by the way, is my brothers had moved out midway. All of my brothers had moved out midway through first grade for me. It was about first grade or second grade, in any regard. It was probably first grade. I think it was first grade. Could have been second grade, because I think my brother was about 13 or 14. Anyway, so when I got home, when my father got home from work, we used to watch uh, Jeopardy. I never understood why he wanted to watch Jeopardy, but we used to watch Jeopardy. And I think that that was one of something that I could say that he did that was actually a positive thing. I mean, it kind of made me an outcast, but that's a good way to be an outcast because I'm smarter than the other kids. That's a good way to be an outcast. I'm fine with that. Just thought of that because I was doing the Jeopardy noise, the Jeopardy music. So I thought of that. But no, it was a good way to be an outcast. And even when I now, lived alone for a real long time, I still watch Jeopardy. Like that just became something that I watched. You know? So that whole time that I lived alone, I still watched Jeopardy. You know, it came on, and then Who's the Boss came on. It came on, and then Who's the Boss came on. You have to turn the channel, but you have to turn the channel. But yeah, I think one of them came. I think Who's the Boss came on NBC, and that came on ABC. You had to turn the channel. But yeah, it was kind of dope. Anyway, that's it. Y'all done? I'm out. Everybody just enjoy your day. Go do something worth doing. Um, go do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. I don't know if there's gonna be a midday live. If I have something to talk about or feel like talking, I guess they'll do one. Obviously, the only people that feel like being in here right now, I'm gonna assume there's 48 people in here, and all the comments, with the exception of 2, have been negative. So I'm gonna assume almost every person in here is on the side with them niggas that want all the worst things in the world to happen to me. I hope God bless you with the same energy that you give me. Whatever the energy is that you have towards me, I hope God blesses you with that energy. Matter of fact, I hope Him blesses you 10 times over, 100 times over with that same energy. That being said, everybody, have a blessed day. Go out there, do something worth doing, and stamp God's name on it. I'm out.